halfway through this year already. There have been, what, 27 shootings at schools? I guess, I mean, just to get into it, why haven't we done anything about this?
Well, I think a lot of it's intimidation by the NRA. And look, this is not your father's Republican Party. This is a MAGA party. It's a very different Republican Party. And so you find people who are worried, I believe, that if they vote for rational gun policy, they're going to be primaried. When I passed the assault weapons ban, I was the guy that sponsored that, got it passed, limiting the number of bullets that could be in a magazine, whole background checks, a whole range of things. And we passed, and violent crime and gun crime dropped off. But I can only get it passed for 10 years. It had to be reauthorized. And when the first Bush administration came along, they didn't reauthorize it. We didn't have the votes. And so what happened was, all of a sudden it came back. You could own assault weapons again. And guess what? Crime went up significantly, 3 times. I mean, so there is a direct correlation between the kinds of weapons that can be had. Look, I met with every single family member of all those kids who were killed and the teachers killed out down in Uvalde, Texas. And they stayed with me for almost 4 hours, over 200 of them, meaning family and extended family. And the stories they told and the pain you could see on their faces, it just made you, it leaves such a...
Shouldn't we demand that every senator in the United States sit with those families?
Well, the answer is... I think we should make the demand. I've never been more optimistic in my life, though. I'll tell you why.
Why are you so optimistic? It makes no sense.
No, it does. Look at the kids. Look at the young people. Best educated, least prejudiced, most giving generation in American history. This generation is going to change everything. We just got to make sure we don't give up. If the court overrules Roe v. Wade and does what it's draft.
What we fear they will.
Well, if that occurs, I think we have to legislate it. We have to make sure we pass legislation making it a law that is the federal government says this is how it works.
In another situation where most of the country is on the same page, something like 64% of Americans do not want to see Roe v. Wade overturned.
And it's just going to be the beginning, by the way. I mean, it's just ridiculous, in my view. And I don't think the country will stand for it, but I think what we're going to have to do, there's some executive orders I could employ. We believe we're looking at that right now. But I want to keep
employ them.
But look, it's clear that if, in fact, the decision comes down the way it does and these states impose the limitations they're talking about, it's going to cause a mini revolution. They're going to vote a lot of these folks out of office. We got to keep it focused on if they overrule Roe v. Wade and the state, California won't do it, but other states say that you cannot do the following, and so it's a law, you can't cross the border, you can't, all the things that some states have, then you got to make sure that you vote. You got to vote and let people know exactly what the devil you think, and we change it.